All right, let's get comfortable in our seats. We want to be able to be in a position where our knees are about hips width apart. The way we do that is we take our two fists, we press them together and hug the inner arches of our knees around the fist. So then when we look down, we should see a nice capital H. Your feet should be parallel to each other. Okay. And also think of toe to heel completely pressed on the ground. So the feet are flat. You don't want to have your feet to the side or anything like that. You want to have them flat down on the ground. And as we sit up straight in our seat, we'll see that this part of our body being aligned is going to help lift us with the rest of our body. It's a good foundation for us. So let's sit up a little bit taller in our seat now that we've adjusted our legs. Think about vertebrae stacked on top of vertebrae all the way up into the shoulder body, the neck body. Relax those shoulders down. They don't need to work right now. Continue to keep the neck up high. If you do need to keep your back on the chair, that's fine. But if you can, scooch forward and try to just keep your back body lifted on your own, using your core, using this lifting part from your base to help you stabilize your own weight. Okay, if you can, do your best. If it's in your practice, close your eyes. And just start to take a few breaths. You want to allow the breath to flow through the body as if it's hollow. Your body is hollow and the breath comes in through the nostrils. On the exhale, you want to be able to just release. You can release your exhales through your nose or through your mouth. Just when you breathe in through the nostrils only if possible. Nothing to do and nowhere to go but to ride the waves of breath. And this is a really important part of yoga, is to just start to saturate yourself in the sense of breathing, this moment by moment self-awareness. On your next inhale, bring your mind's eye or imagination down to your feet. Imagine that your breath can make it all the way down to your toes. And as you breathe in, fill your body up with air, so much so that it travels to wherever you place it in your mind's eye. So wherever your guidance is, it goes. And then exhale and release it slowly. And as you release it, start to relax a little bit more until you're completely empty of air. And do this 5 times, concentrating your breath to be as full and deep as possible. And really give yourself permission to relax more and more on each exhale. Two more. Last one. We're going to take our arms. You can keep your eyes closed if you like, but bring your arms and just lift them up overhead. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and just stay here for a moment, lifting up out of your pelvic bowl. Allow your fingertips to rise like they can reach the ceiling. Inhale and breathe in. And if it's in your practice, back bend slightly on the exhale. Look up, gaze up. This is our seated mountain pose. And then on the exhale, slowly bring your hands back down by your sides, and you can drop them all the way down by the legs. Let the blood flow through. Take your shoulder on your left side and pull it back, and then your right. And just go back about 4 times. And we just want to kind of loosen up the shoulders and the neck, and then forward. It's really important to loosen this area. It's also a place of a lot of tension and stress, so it's really good for our yoga practice to get in there deep. Inhale and breathing, and bring both shoulders up now to the ears and just hold it for a second. And then on the exhale, lower the shoulders down, exhaling all the stale air out of the body. Do that 2 more times. And really feel your shoulder blades pull down the back body. Sit up a little bit taller in your seat. We're going to bring our arms, reach them up, lift them up overhead once again. But this time, take your fingers, interlace the palms, press them up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. We want to get into the habit of keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Okay, sit up a little bit taller in your seat, lifting through your pelvic bowl, maybe even squeeze your glutes, that part of your muscle where your sits bone is connected to on the seat. So squeeze the glutes, lift up, reach up, and then undo the arms and bring them back down. But this time I want you to bring them behind your body. Okay, interlace the fingers behind you, and you can just pull down. If it feels like it's a little too much for you, just rest your hands on the sacrum. Or if you want to go a bit further and you really want to stretch, you can lean the belly down, stretch the arms out, pressing away. It's almost like your shoulder blades can pick up a piece of paper and hold it there, or a penny. You can keep your chin to your chest. And then exhale, lower the arms back down by the side. And we're going to shake that out to the left and to the right, just to get any little cracks and crevices out. All right, great. Arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead, interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the ceiling. Shoulders roll back. Inhale and breathe in, and on the exhale, we're going to lean to the right. Keep your sits bone grounded into the seat. We're going to lean to let's go to the right. Lean to the right. We're going to pivot open on that left shoulder, look up, gaze up. So we're leaning to the right, but we're keeping that sits bone grounded. Come to center, and then we're going to lean to the left, and then pivot open on that right elbow, and look up. And just breathe in and out. Come back to center. Arms come down by the side. And just kind of shake it out. All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to get some arm work here. Lift up, but this time I want you to take your hands, interlace some of the fingers, but make a shooting gun. So cross the thumbs. All right, just so you can see. So you're going to cross the thumbs. Your index finger is going to poke, and all your other fingers are going to be crossed and interlaced. And you're going to lift up, roll the shoulders away from the ears, sit up through that seat. Inhale and breathe in, and then on the exhale, you're going to lean over towards the left, look up, gaze up. Again, keeping that sits bone into the body. Now, you don't have to look up that way. You can also look up toward your hands, whichever way works best for you. Come back to center, and then we're going to lean over towards the right. Again, squeeze those shoulders, lift up, squeeze the biceps, squeeze the triceps, and take the gaze up. And then come back to center. Arms come down by the sides. All right, beautiful. We're going to take the chin now and drop it into the chest. All right, so your chin comes down into the chest. Breathe in and out. Slowly inhaling and exhaling. And you're going to roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And just stay here for a moment. Come back to center, chin to the chest, and then left ear to the left shoulder. Chin back to the chest, right ear, right shoulder, but this time we're going to prepare our body. So we want to sit up a little bit taller in a seat, take an inhale in. We're going to take our chin and trace it down to the shoulder. So we're going to pivot our head and our eyesight, and we're going to be looking at the right shoulder. Allow your arms to really just hang heavy here. And then we're going to pivot our right ear to the right shoulder again. And then drop the chin into the chest, come back into center. And just pause here for a second. And then we're going to roll. All right, so we're going to roll our left ear to the left shoulder. Stay there for a second. And then take your chin and you're going to trace it down to the left shoulder and look over your left shoulder. And keep breathing. Breathing in a way that's intentional. Slowly, we're going to pivot the ear back over to the left shoulder and then bring the chin back down to the chest and come back to center. Take our hands, both hands, and lay them on the top of the head. And just let the hands sit there. You don't have to add any weight onto it. Just gently allow the hands to lay on the back of the head. Gravity will do all the work for you. And the hands come down by the side. Right ear to the right shoulder. Right hand rises, and then you lay it on the side of the head where the temple is. You can take your left hand if you like, and you can just kind of walk it out if you want to, or you can keep it right where it is. You can also lay it on top of your thigh. Or if you want to get fancy, you can kind of twist the hand a little bit. Anything to just loosen up your left side of your neck. That's really all up to you. And these are just options. Yeah, beautiful. I see everybody kind of making it their way, making it their own. We're going to take that right hand. We're going to lift it up and lay it back down by our right leg and drop the chin again into the center chest. That's a nice little pause and break for us. And then we're going to come over, left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand lifts, and then it lays on the temple. Breathe in and out. And then you can find that home for your hands. All right, you can do whatever you feel like you need to do in order to get the most out of this pose. Just keep breathing. And remember, what you do to one side can be different than you do to the other, so it can vary. We're gonna take the left hand, lift it up, lay it back down by the left thigh, bring the chin back into the chest, and just stay there for a second. Hands to the thighs, the tops of the thighs. Bring the belly inward, look up, gaze up, lifting up through the chest, through the heart. If you can, back bend slightly, just like a little micro bend if you can't do a deeper bend. Hands are on top of the thighs for support. Thighs are hips width apart. And then we're going to reverse. We're going to tuck inward, bring the navel in towards the spine, chin to the chest. Come forward. Inhale, breathe in. Look up, gaze up. Exhale, draw in, navel to the spine, chin to the chest. And go in for about 4 seated cat-cow poses. Just kind of find your own way. Remember, you can do micro movements that are really just little, or you can be like completely all in and kind of bent and twisted and turned. So just listen to yourself. Remember, you should not be feeling anything beyond a moderate sensation. So if you feel any severe pains or things that happen with your muscles or spasms, you might want to just kind of slow down and bring it into like a more micro level. And then exhale it all out. And in fact, our next inhale, we're going to collectively do together. So inhale and breathe in. And on the exhale, let it out. Exhale and breathe. Inhale and breathe in. Let the breath fill up with air. Belly fills. And on the exhale, really just let it out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Inhale, arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead. We're going to break up some stuff now. We're going to go through a flow and start moving down the body. So gaze is up. Exhale, come forward, lay the belly on the thighs, and then drop the chin to the chest. Now your thighs are completely supporting your chest and your belly, so you're good to go there. If you want to shake your head yes and no and just let the arms hang heavy and dangle, you can do that. Or if you feel like you need to hold on to your ankles or something for more stability, you can do that too. That's really important to just breathe here and really just feel the way the breath presses against the spine. The spine, we want to renew and rejuvenate, right? So there's a lot of health and a lot of benefits that come from allowing our spine to be massaged with our breath. And then slowly we're going to half lift flat back. And there's also all these benefits for our spine when we strengthen our core. So use the core to come up, lifting up part way up. Arms come kind of behind you like a runner's lunge. And breathe in and out. Now, I know we normally go right back down, but what I want to do is challenge us today. We've been coming farther and farther along. See if you can lift your arms up in front of you in this. Continuing to stay in half lift, flat back, wrapping that belly around the back body and the back body around the belly. So kind of adjusting the body, taking the chest and lifting out rather than the shoulders to the ears. We're pressing out. Inhale and breathe in. And then on the exhale, come back down. Really let it go. You earned it. Inhale, breathe in. We're going to come up straight through the half lift, flat back, lifting our arms up, rising up, using that core. Look up, gaze up, and then exhale, bring the hands down by the side. And the reason why I wanted you to come into that extension of the arms is because those muscles that you felt in your belly, I want you to use them and engage them throughout this practice, okay? So let's do 2 more flows. All right, arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead. We're coming into spring. We're flowing into spring. Rise up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead. Exhale, hands come down by your side, but I want you to come straight back into that salutation. Arms rise, reach up, lifting up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Gently roll, rising up to the top of the mountain, touching the sun, and then bring the hands gently down by the side. Beautiful, beautiful. And just pause for a second. Maybe even bring your hands to heart center. And before we move on with the rest of this class, set an intention. It's always good to have a goal or a plan in mind when we're doing just about anything in life. So give yourself a moment of honor and respect to just dedicate your practice to something that you want to get out of it, or some kind of intention that you want to and consider. What are you working towards? What is this moment for you? And if it's relaxation, then that's an intention. There, anything is valid. You can just put it in front of you. Beautiful. We're going to bring our hands down by the side. All right. I want you to take your arms, lift them up, roll the shoulders away from the ears. And just squeeze the core. Remember that core in that body as we were doing our half lift. Remember what that felt like, right? Just feel that activation in that belly. All right, I want you to keep yourself up through the belly. We're going to sky flip the right hand, take the left hand, plop it underneath. This is one of my favorite, I guess, poses, as you could say, is doing some hand yoga. And you're going to pull back on the fingertips as much as you can, but only to a place of moderate sensation. If you need to take a break, you bring your elbows down by the sides, hold the connection, and then come back out. Start with the pinky and just breathe in and out, rolling the pinky all around a few times, forward and back. And try not to hold the breath. In fact, let this be more about breathing through each finger. Okay, because it's so easy to hold the breath. Like even with me talking right now, I'm holding the breath. And really, you get the most out of this by breathing as you do it. And it's going to wake up your whole body, waking up all our joints today. And then pull back on the fingertips. There we go. And fingers and hands come down and just roll them around. Beautiful. And let's do the other side. We want to stay in that same flow. So roll those shoulders away, sit up straight, squeeze that core, sky flip the left hand. So wiggle those left fingertips, sky flip it. Take that right hand, plop it underneath, and just kind of pull back and breathe. Really allow that breath to go through the body. If you need to take that break, remember, take the break. You can begin now by taking each finger and rotating. This is also really good to do when you're first getting out of bed. When you first wake up, you'll get the energy pumping. You just gotta breathe. And pull back on the hands. And then rotate those hands down. Beautiful. We're going to take our hand, our right hand, and just bring it up in front of us so that our palm is facing our body. The knuckle of the palm, which is the outside, is facing the wall in front of us. We're going to take our left hand and just bring it right on top. Okay. Come a little closer. All right. So here's our hand here. We're going to take the left hand. So just do that. There you go. See these fingertips? This is my 4 fingertips from my left hand. We're going to wrap them around this meaty part of the thumb, okay? Now the thumb on the right hand. Your left thumb is going to push on the bone, on the bony part, right where your middle finger is, or right around this area where the index finger is and the pinky are. You can just find a home for it, and then you're gonna tilt your wrist so that your fingertips are now pointing towards the middle of your nose. Now the fingertips on the right hand pointing towards your nose. If you would actually take your hand and place it, it would look like that. It would be a plane, like a straight plane, like when we do the airplane with our hands up. That's what you're doing with just your wrist. All right, and then undo that. Bring the hands out in front of you again. And let's do the other side. So here we are, left hand comes in front of us. We're facing our palm. Right hand comes on top. All right, so the 4 fingertips of the right fingers wrap around the left thumb, and then our right thumb presses on one of the bones that is towards the edge of the hand, and that pushes the fingertips towards our nose, the left fingertips towards our nose. So like we can see it again. It's like right down the middle. And you only push as much as you feel comfortable. This is what your wrist kind of looks like, right? If you go too much, that's not going to be good. If you don't go enough, then your hand might look like this. What you want to do is you want to be able to feel a little bit of release in the joint. And just breathe. Beautiful. And then undo and just go like that. There you go. Do a few crunches with those hands. Beautiful. Take our arms, reach them up, lift them up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. I want you to stay down here though. All right, so we're gonna exhale, forward fold, and we're gonna open up our legs. Bring our elbows to the inside of the thighs. Fingertips are wrapping around our ankles. All right, keep the head up. And I want you to try to just place your feet in a way where you feel like you're getting a stretch in your inner thigh. So where you place your feet is how far your legs are going to go. So find that comfort zone, find that sweet spot for you. And just stay here for a second. We don't have to do too much for this. If you want to bring the hands together, you can, or you can keep them wrapped around the ankle. Your choice. And if you do have the elbows pressing in to the inside of the thighs, you're right where you need to be. You can actually press against those elbows with your thighs and you'll feel this resistance. That's how you know you're doing it right. 2 more breaths. Last one, and then bring the hands around the ankles if they're not there already. And this time I want you, if it's in your practice, to drop your head down, chin to the chest. Now, if you want to let go of your ankles, you can by bringing your hands onto the floor. I honestly don't know how far your chair is from the floor, so you might want to just keep your hands wrapped around those ankles. If it's close like mine, and you can really securely press your hands onto the ground, that's great. But just drop that head, and you want to get some of that decompression in your neck body. That's what the goal is here. So chin comes to the chest. You're decompressing the neck. You're shaking it out. You're just letting the neck relax from some of the weight of the head. And then wrap your hands around the ankles. Once again, come up half lift. Arms are still inside of the legs. And just breathe. And we're going to walk our hands up the thighs and bring them to the top of the thigh now. Legs are still open. All right. We're going to bring the chest down and then pull back. Inhale and exhale. Adjust your feet as you need to. I still just kept mine where they were because I'm kind of comfortable there, but that's up to you. We're going to do 2 more of these, and then we're going to go in these other circles. All right. We're going to do some hip movement. All right. And just start to kind of pull around, pressing forward and back, inhaling and exhaling. Take your time, breath with movement. And then start to add a roll with your shoulders just to loosen it up. All right. We're going to come back to center, and then we're going to bring our hands down to the inside once again. All right, elbows on the inside. You should feel a little bit looser. We're going to lean more of our weight into the right leg, and then we're going to take our left hand and lift it up. So this gives us, what we did was prepare our body to be able to get a little bit more of a stretch. That's why we did that movement. Extend the fingertips up, look up, gaze up, and just breathe. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to force anything. Take the left fingertips and bring them back down. Place them on the ankles on the left side. Shift your weight over to the left, and then take that right hand and lift it up. Beautiful. Again, no force. No tension. Hand comes back down. Okay, we're gonna walk our hands back up, toe heel our feet. If you want, you can bring them completely together for our seated twist. If you want to have them open a little bit, you can do that as well. Okay, so we're going to bring them into a position where we're stable once again in our base. Arms are going to lift up, and we're going to just bring our hands to heart center. Okay, and we're going to pivot our bodies over towards the right, and then come back to center. Pivot to the left, back to center. And then we're going to come back to the right and take your left elbow, and wherever that left elbow is, I just want you to come straight down onto your thigh. So it might be your left thigh or it might be your right thigh. All right, so I'm going to start on my left and look up, gaze up. And then if you feel like you can do this, you can take your elbow and bring it across. Now, if you don't feel like that, just stay where you are. This is why we set the tone. We kind of measured where we could place our elbow and kind of assess that when we did our short twist, okay? So only go where you feel comfortable. Make sure the gaze is up. You don't want to be looking down like this. You want to take that gaze up and look up. It's more in line with your spine. Okay, we're going to come up, but we're going to continue to look over to the right side and then just drop the hands to the outside of the right leg. So our arm, if it's not already, cross it over on the left side. So the left side crosses over to the right. If you want to take your right hand and bring it on your chair, you can. I'll show you what that looks like, but you don't have to. You can just kind of let your hand dangle, or you can bring it to the chair, or you can even bring it up to the tippity top. And some people do this because they want to get a deeper twist or they want to crack their back. So it's up to you. Sit up nice and tall in the seat so you're still using that core, breathing in. Imagine that body's hollow, and then on the exhale, twist a little bit more to look behind you, looking over that shoulder. And now we're going to stay in this for a few moments, so just breathe. If you need to adjust the feet, adjust the feet. Just be comfortable. Be engaged. Continue to breathe. Take your hands, bring them back to heart center. Prayer hands. All right, we're going to come back. Just pivoting the body back to center. Bring the hands down by the side. And before we go on to the other side, I just want you to notice how you feel. Do this kind of brief check-in. Readjust your body, reset. It's okay to reset at any time. Yeah, that's good. And just breathe. Take the hands, place them back again in prayer. We're going to twist over and pivot toward the left. Come back to center. Pivot to the right. Come back to center. And then we're looking back over to our left, and our right elbow now is pointing out, and we're just going to come down and then take the gaze up. If you can cross that elbow over if it's in your practice to do so. And we're just going to stay here for a few moments. Take your gaze up so that you're looking over your shoulder. It's going towards the sky. And we're gonna come up, squeeze that core, come up, continue to be on the left side. The hands are still pressed. And then bring the hands to the outside of the left leg. And I'll do this just so you can see me. Again, hand can go anywhere you like. If you just want it to dangle, it can. Or just find a home. These are all your places. It's your practice, right? Nobody knows how you feel but you. And then take that gaze so that you're looking over that left shoulder and breathe. Bring the palms back together and then slowly come back to center. And then hands come up overhead and reach those arms up. Gaze is up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. And then bring the hands onto the chair. All right. We're going to take our right leg. We're going to bring it over to the side. All right. Hands are going to come up. And you're going to extend those arms out. And we're going to start out by trying to twist over to the left just a little bit. Sort of like getting our yo-yo going, like we're twisting off to just take off. And then we're going to spin around. Our left hand is going to come forward to the front of the room and our right hand is going to come behind us. And we're looking over that leg, that right leg. Now, again, this is like a twist of the spine. So wherever you can go is fine, but just keep it in mind that when you breathe in and out, you're going to kind of loosen that back body. So you're going to be fluid here. You don't want to be rigid. And breathe. Extend up through the body. Keep those arms strong. I know you might want to drop them. Think about being in like a warrior pose and how you have to kind of hold that pose. Arms are strong. And then come back to center and bring the hands down by the side. We're going to take that thigh, bring it back in, squeeze the thigh to bring it back. And then we're going to take the left leg, bring it over towards the left. All right, so we have our half a square here. All right, arms extend out in front of us, and then we're just going to start on the right, right? So you're just kind of going to the right. You're going to get a little kind of twisty on your back. But then you're going to come around and you're going to use that momentum so that you can spin around. And now you're looking over towards your right, right? So, I mean, your left. So your right hand is in front of you. Your left hand is behind you. And you're looking over towards your left side. Again, your strength is in your arms here. You're squeezing through the core. Your feet are solid on the ground, and breathe in and out. The endurance and the resilience is in really being able to keep those arms up, use those biceps and those triceps, engage your arms. And then come back to center. We pivot, hands come down. All right, come again. We're gonna bring open that leg on the right side, holding on to the seat. All right, if you like, you can bring the knee all the way down, or you can just do like this where you're hovering. So it's your choice, okay? And you can hold on to the chair. I find that you can, but it's up to you. And come back to center. Bring those feet back in. We're gonna come back over. Left leg comes out to the left side. All right, holding on to that chair. Then bring that right knee down, either hovering or you can bring it all the way down. Your choice. Come back up and just twist back and forth. All right. Let's bring our feet back together again. Right foot comes out. This time, you can hold on to the front of the chair and the back, and then take your other leg, your left leg, and just draw it behind you and just stretch it out. All right. Your foot can be at about a 45-degree angle. Now, when you're on your right side, you just want to make sure that the foot is comfortable. Do your best to stack the knee on top of the ankle. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to completely always stack because you are sitting in a seat. So you can kind of like make the adjustment by moving around in the seat, or you can make the adjustment by moving your foot. Okay. I find it's easier to make it from the seat, but you do want to hold on. All right, and once you feel comfortable, if it's okay and you feel ready, let go and come into that warrior pose. Breathe in and out. If you want to keep holding on to the chair, you can. You do not have to lift up your arms. Nice, strong warrior. Make sure you're looking over your right fingertips if your arms are straight out. If you're holding on to the chair, you're still looking over to the right side. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Bring those arms back onto the chair, and that helps you to come out. So just kind of twist the body, hold on to the chair, and bring both feet back to center. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do the other side. So the left leg goes out. All right. Bring your right hand into like the middle of the chair. Take your left hand, place it on the back of the chair, and then adjust your body so that you can take the right leg and stretch it out straight behind you. Again, move your body around. Your goal is to try to get your knee stacked on top of the ankle. You're gonna have to do a little bit of moving here. Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle-ish. Okay, breathe in and out. If you wanna completely let go, and you feel comfortable, bring your arms out and look over your left hand. If you're holding on to the chair, you're still looking over to the left side. Okay. And breathe, 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 breathe. Two more breaths. Last one. And hands come down, back onto the chair. Untwist yourself out and come back to center, bringing your feet back into your base position, legs hips width apart, and let's go through a flow. Arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise, reach up, and I want you to either come to standing in a way that you feel the most comfortable coming to standing up, but if you can, squeeze that core, lift up, and slowly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come up to standing. I'm gonna adjust my camera here just so you can see me. All right, we're gonna do some standing poses. So one of the first things I want to do, we always start out with being like behind the chair. If you want to be behind the chair, you can, but I want to show you first what I want us to do. This time it will be more for the front of the chair if you can do it, okay? So you're going to take your right foot and you're going to bring your right foot and just bring it right to where the chair is. Your left leg is going to be behind you. The width is as much as you like it to be. Your foot is at a 45-degree angle. All right. And when I say soften the knee, you see that the knee is soft. It's not straight. It's not rigid, but I want to soften that knee because I want us to come down and bring our hands onto the top of the chair and then take our other hand and lift it up. Okay, now here's the thing. If you feel comfortable doing that, because this is a lot steeper, you can do it like this, the back of the chair, and it'll look like this, okay? So it's your choice, but if it's possible, you want to try to get that really nice extension. And if you are with your hand on the chair where the seat is, you want to really just pivot open on your hips. lifting through, pivoting open on those shoulders so that you have that nice, long, straight body. So your left hand is all the way into the air. All right. Bend the knee a little bit more. Now we're going to come up, come back into standing. All right. And then come straight into warrior two and look over our shoulder. Here's the thing. If you want to be holding on to the chair, you can, or you can do it just like this. Mind you, you can go ahead and you can reduce the width of your legs or you can extend them. So this is really a test for you to decide. And then bring the hands down by the side. And we're going to come into standing and then we're going to do the other side. Okay. Again, your choice on how you want to do your standing poses. I'm going to show it from the chair on this side. So you can open up those legs to start. All right. This time, our left foot is going to come forward. Our right foot is going to come behind us. All right. Soften that knee, right? No rigid knees. This is our rigid knee. We're softening that knee. So you should feel it's nice and loose. All right. And then we can bring our hand down, supporting ourselves, left hand on the seat, right hand in the air, pivoting, open that hip body and those shoulders. If we're doing it the other way, it looks like this. All right. The difference is in the fact that when you place your hands on top of the chair like this, you're able to truly stretch out the elbow and the joints and truly get that lift that you need in order to bump up a little bit more. So it's a little more advanced, but what it does is it opens you up and opens up your joints a little bit more. Where if you see when you're holding on to the chair like this, you're not able to really do that same push off. Okay, so that's just the difference. And then we're going to come up, squeeze that core. All right, if you're holding on to the chair, you're going to continue to hold on to the chair. Otherwise, just come into warrior two. Looking over your left shoulder, keeping that body nice and strong. And breathe. All right, and then bring the hands down by the side and then shake it out. And just shake out the full body. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. And it wouldn't be spring without trees, right? So let's come into a tree pose. So you're going to come to the side of your chair. Now, if you want to come to the back, you can, but I'm going to show it from the side. So come to the side of your chair. And I want you to just notice how your weight is. So evenly distribute your weight. Soften the knees, maybe even bend them a few times, just so you know that they're soft, okay? And you're just gonna lean over towards the right side. And then you're gonna take your left leg and just lift it up. Kind of just kick it in front a few times. Get a sense of where that balance is and bring that foot back down. All right, this time, now that you know where your weight is on that right side, this time you're going to lean over towards your right. You're going to shift that weight, but you're going to take your left foot and you're going to find a home for it. So the heel can come right above the ankle. So your left heel can come right above the ankle. Toes remain anchored onto the ground. Or you can bring it up into the mid part of your lower leg. All right. Not on the knee, but below the knee, and not on the ankle, but above the ankle. On the third, now I know this one's tricky and challenging, but you can bring your foot all the way up to your inner thigh. All right, so wherever you go is fine. And if you want to take your hands and place them into like a branch pose, you can do that. The other thing is if you want to test your balance a whole bunch and you feel comfortable with it, all right, you can take both hands off the chair. But keep the chair right there. Like, don't go far. Good job. It's all up to you how you're challenging yourself. We're going to breathe. Really continue to keep your body engaged. Keep that core engaged. Continue to lift up through your branch. Imagine that your feet are rooted into the ground. So let this be an active pose for you. 5 more seconds. And just trust yourself. Where you are is perfect. All right. And then bring the left foot down and just shake out both legs, right? Especially the right, because the right's been taking in all the weight. And then we're going to go on to the other side. All right. Again, we want to always start off by like kind of shifting our weight and getting the sense of how we feel. So lean in. All right. So lean in towards that left foot. And take the right foot this time and just kick it up and down, up and down. You just want to get a sense of how you're feeling because you want to adjust accordingly. And bring that foot back down. Make sure your knees are soft. All right. Continue to lift up through that core, through the upper body, and then take your right foot and find a home for it. So you can come into your tree pose. Same thing like on the other side. The heel right above the ankle, or in between the foreleg, between the knee and the ankle, or all the way at the top of the thigh. And then place your hands into a place in your tree with your branches. Think of it being a beautiful spring day and the sun is out and all the leaves are just starting to come back. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the fresh air come in and revive you from head to toe. Maybe you can even relax the body a little bit more. Trust yourself as you're rooting in through the ground, lifting up, using that strength to help you identify with your tree even more. 2 more seconds. 1 more. You got this. Yes. And then bring the feet back down to the ground. And just shake it out. Shake out the whole body. That's your last shake of the class. And then come back down into your chair. Come into this nice seated position. Take your time. Beautiful. All right, breathe in and out. And then when you're ready, you can close the eyes, continue to relax the body, relax your mind, and just notice how you feel now. Assess yourself from the beginning of class until now. As you prepare for Savasana, see if you want to make any last minute adjustments, maybe even allow the legs now to just kind of let go. So if they're not exactly in your base position, that's okay. If you want to lean your back up against the chair, you can. Whatever you feel most comfortable doing. Place your hands in a place that you're open and trusting. They're not clenched or anything. They're just loose. Allow the tongue to fall away from the top of the mouth. It's at the top of the mouth. And try to relax just a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you're doing this, thank yourself as well. And congratulate yourself on a job well done for showing up. You didn't have to come today, but you did. Thank you for sharing this space, respecting the space, and honoring your body. Continue to stay in Savasana until I bring the singing bowl, and at that time, we will close class together. Thank you so much for everything. If you'd like to continue to meditate, you can do so as long as you like by leaving the session now. Otherwise, we'll close class together. Thank you and namaste. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
Namaste. See you too.
Thank you.